Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Nate's Stories podcast. How are you doing today? I'm doing a little meh. It's cloudy here. It's a depressing day outside. Therefore, it's a depressing day inside. No, actually, I'm kind of full of energy, so it's kind of weird. It's not raining, though, so I'm probably going to try to do something active outdoors. Maybe. I'll just go back to animating. That's right. There's a cartoon coming out this week, probably after this podcast comes out. So, that's a thing. So about the podcast last time, so this is episode 2, so I listened to the first... Should I even talk about podcasting on a podcast? That seems so stupid. And that's what we're about here. So yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah, I was listening to it, I said, and like, a lot. Like, I just said it right there. It's really hard not to. Podcasting is different, or at least the way I'm doing it, is very different than just talking to people. Just is another word that I shouldn't be using. That's kind of a nonsense word. Any sentence that has the word just in it can probably be improved by removing just. I stole that idea from my older brother. Don't tell him. He might be listening to this. So what I'm going to try to do, so is another word. What I'm going to try to do is not say like, just, or so. Because those are all filler words, and I just say those to... There's a cop out there. There's a cop. Those are filler words. Alright, so I just spent a minute and a half talking about language and podcasting. I've been keeping up with the word thing, you know. My malleloquent language is annoying people. Today's word is... No, that's not... I don't know what it is. Copa questioned or something. Oh, I should really edit that out. Anyways, so let's get on to it. So one thing I was thinking about this week... There's actually a couple of things I've been thinking about. How come it's so funny when people get hit in the face with giant pieces of plastic? Like the noise... I said like again. The noise and just the action, like the... I said it again. The noise and the action and the comically large piece of plastic I'm imagining, just like... Dang! That's really hard to do! Keep saying like. I wish I don't have any pieces of plastic in here to hit myself in the face with, but it's like a big dong, and then someone falls down. Why is it just so funny? It makes me laugh. Why are funny noises funny? I got no answers here. Here on this we just ask stupid questions. I stubbed my toe yesterday. It sucked. Still sucks. Why does stubbing your toe, why does that injury just linger and stick around? And there's nothing you can really do about it to make it get better faster. You just have to wait. You can ice it, I think. But it actually makes me think of an old cartoon idea I had where I wanted to show God creating the universe. I wanted to show all those like outer space stuff where like the cosmos is being created with and things are swirling around, and we're showing all this chaos from the Big Bang, and eventually we'd get to Earth being formed, and then we'd show life evolving on Earth. We'd show this like magnificent journey through time, and eventually I wanted us to land on this one dude who was walking, and I just wanted God to pop in and put like a piece of wood in front of him as he was walking, and the guy would just stub his toe, and he'd be like, ah! And I just wanted it to look like the entire universe was made for this one moment of this guy stubbing his toe. Never ended up making that video. Would have been a lot of work for a terrible joke. Yeah. I guess on the subject of feet, yesterday... No, it was today. I was looking through socks. Going through my socks drawer. And it's summer right now, and so it's too hot to wear pants. Wait, it's actually spring. It's not summer yet. Yep, I'm one of those people that think about that. Doesn't summer start June 20th or 22nd? Anyways, it's too hot to wear pants, so you gotta wear shorts, which means that if you wear socks, people are gonna see the socks. And I was thinking, the best part about winter is that you can wear 2 different socks and nobody notices. I mean, nowadays, it's becoming a statement wearing 2 different socks. You can be cool. No, not here. Not here in Nate Stories land. If you wear 2 different socks during the summer, you're not cool. You hear that? You hear that? Well, that's all the material that I wrote down to get me through this, so we're in trouble. No, we're not. We're still doing good. All right, so there I said again. When it comes down to it, shorts or pants. Why are both those words plural? You can't just buy a pant or a short. We talk about the deep stuff here. All right, let's get on to the mailbag. It's a little early. It's 5 minutes in. So, I got some questions. Just from one person, but they asked 5 questions. First question. His name is Dan. I've known him for a long time. Probably have him as a guest on the podcast eventually. He's actually done some voices in cartoons, too. Yeah. There I said again. I just need to slap myself. I need to pay a guy to slap me whenever I say just, or whatever the other one was. I remember reading somewhere that instead of saying those words, one way to instantly sound smarter is replace those words with pauses, and people will just think you're smarter. Now, I don't know if that's true. That could just be an internet fact. Internet facts are facts that seem true because you read them on the internet, which is the problem with our current political climate. Ooh, I got a text. We'll check that later, though, because talking to you guys, and girls, and other people. Am I about to talk about transgender issues? No. Oh man, I'm rambling all over the place. Anyways, back to Dan, who asked 5 questions. No, 6 questions. Oh man. 6 questions. First question, how long have you been animating and what is your favorite part about it? I think I've been animating for I said again. Where is just the guy to slap me when I say those replacement words? Filler words? Filler words. Been animating for 10 or 11 years, I think. Maybe 12 years. I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's any moment where I actually started animating, because I would always draw these little pictures and I'd I would imagine them moving. So it was always there. I saw things animating before I even started drawing things frame by frame. Favorite part about it? That you can make anything happen. There's no limits, which is exactly why all of my cartoons lately have just been about mundane subjects. Because with animation, you can do these fantastic worlds, you can make adventures happen, and I'm making videos about a time I ate too much candy corn. Whew. I do actually have some big ones coming out, though. Some ones that will be entertaining. Number 2, what is your dream job? Dream job is to not have a job and to get paid for it. Or maybe, I never thought about it. Makes me think about capitalism. Now, children, sit around. I'm about to tell you about the flaws of capitalism. No, I got nothing. Isn't it strange that we live in such a career and job-focused society? I was actually watching a little documentary on McDonald's, and it just made me think how McDonald's is this global enterprise that's been around since I was a kid. There, I said again. It's been around since I was a kid. Let me know if that's annoying for me to keep calling out myself, and I'm probably missing other times where I don't call it out, and you're probably listening being like, why didn't he call it out? Anyways, watching the documentary about McDonald's, and I was thinking how it's normal for me, McDonald's. The idea of people just getting a job there is just a normal career path. But before McDonald's was an era that actually existed. So the entire idea that like you go to these certain companies and you just do these jobs and that can start a career. Am I just talking about Economics 101? Do I just need to take an economics class? Basically, what I'm trying to say in a really long-winded fashion is the industry for McDonald's didn't exist before McDonald's did. So there's people that made that up and made it normal. So you want to be one of the people that make up the industry that makes everyone, I should redo this take. McDonald's didn't exist before whenever, like the 1940s. So there was no big enterprise. Like people didn't even think go work at McDonald's because it wasn't there. But now it's such a common statement. Oh, man. Either you guys think I'm smart or an idiot, and I think it depends on how much you're listening. If you're not listening, you might think I'm smart. All right, next question that he asked. If you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would it be? Anywhere in the world. I don't know. I didn't think about that. Because I feel like if I were to say one place, then it would make all the other places jealous. Like if I said the Grand Canyon, I could just imagine Paris, France being like, hey, we got a tower, we got French people, we got baguettes. And then China would be like, we made General Tso's. They didn't actually make General Tso's. General Tso's is American, right? Or is it? There was like a TED Talk I watched a few years ago about that. And I think they made a documentary about it. I mean, it just shows how forgettable TED Talks are. They really, they make you feel like you're getting smarter, and you're like, oh, I said like twice. And I think that first time was actually okay. Make you feel like you're getting smarter. Make you feel getting smarter. There's a purpose to the word. Anyways, I don't actually know if General Tso's is Chinese, American, some combination. Don't remember the TED Talk. I'm not going to look it up right now. Didn't see the documentary. It's a food. It's pretty good. I like General Tso's. Actually, General Tso's tofu is the best when it's made well, because sometimes the tofu doesn't have enough flavor. We're turning this into a culinary adventure. So where would I go in the world right now? I don't know. Over there. Just pick a direction and go. That way nowhere else will get jealous of where I am, because the things get jealous. Number 4. Do you believe in love? Yeah. I mean, have you seen a puppy? Puppies just love existing. So yes. Now, can humans love like a puppy? Probably. Probably, yeah. Number 5. How does being in a relationship strengthen or hinder your creative endeavors? Oh, damn. What? This is an incriminating question. Depends on how well the relationship is going. Ironically, when my life is worse, that's when I make the better cartoons. So if I'm in a bad relationship, I tend to make the good stuff. I said, So, I think also if it's a positive relationship, I'll just show the person whatever I'm working on or talk to them about it, and they'll just kind of let me be. Or they'll give feedback. It's just don't be in a bad, basically, I'm trying not to incriminate myself, because there's been times when I wanted to put someone in a video, and then I was like, no, because we're not going to stay together. So, that happens. Here's a little snippet of that. I made a music video. All right, listen up, come close. I made a music video a couple years ago. Well, no, 4 years ago? It was called Must Have Done Something. No, so even before that. So the year before that, I made a video called A Directionless Guide to Running. All right? You listening? And so I put a girl in one scene. She has like an orange hat, I think. And I had me running away. No, I had Jeff running away from her in the cartoon. It was a metaphor for what I was planning on doing. No, we ended up having a pretty mutual ghosting affair. where we just kind of stopped talking to each other. Drama. All right, next question from Dan. Do you miss anyone from your high school days? Winky face. I think he's referring to himself. I was actually thinking recently about that, like high school, you would see all these people, and then college, and then the era after college, and it's now I'm older where that era after college has now become a different era. So the groups of people that I've been around have kept shifting. And so like Dan is somebody that I've known since high school, so he's weaved in and out and met all these different people. Like I was in a band in high school, and all those people now, we don't really talk. I wonder if they're listening to this. Probably not. That's a question. That's a story for another podcast. So is that one of the replacement words? Probably. Yes, it is. So I failed again. Hit me with the cardboard piece, Mr. Person that's going to hit me when I say filler words. Do I miss anyone? Part of me does miss the high school days, and part of me doesn't because I hated high school. I pretty much hated being in school. Why did you hate being in school, Nate? I don't know. I didn't like people telling me what to do. Well, isn't that just life? So, yes. So I've just learned to accept that's how the world is. But back then I believed that's not how the world had to be. But do I miss anybody? I think what I missed about high school is the freedom where we could have done anything and been bad at it and no one cared. Back then, I remember thinking that things mattered, and they really don't. At least, like, I would make cartoons back then, and no one saw them, nobody cared. And I wish I took more risks with that stuff. I kind of just wish I drew more and just, like, focused. I said like again. I wish I focused more on stuff that I wasn't going to learn about till later. For instance, I didn't play tennis back then. I tried and I hated it, but that's a story for another podcast about how much I hate sports, and yet somehow I'm into tennis. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so of course, I miss you, Dan. His name is Dan Segerman. He's an actor. Look him up online, people. All right, and yeah, those are all the questions that I got. 6, that's pretty good. Hopefully someday I'll get 7. Anyways, I guess I'll have one more section, because I do get a lot of YouTube comments. I'm just going to read out one of my favorite ones. So this one is on the podcast video. Why did I pick this one? I can't even read this person's name. Oh, no. Why did I just put myself in this situation? Their name is, let's zoom in. Trisham. We'll say Trisham Hughes. Trisham Hughes? Oh, I hope I said that right. I'm really bad at names. I could do... People laugh at me. Okay, here... I'll read the comment, don't worry. But... I'm so bad at names and, like, reading things. So, there's a game called Zelda Ocarina of Time. And as a kid... It came out in, like, 1998, so I was pretty young. Played it, and it was a game where they didn't read anything out. There's no voiceovers. So I would read the names of locations, and I would just mispronounce everything. So I would start to hear people talk about locations and stuff from the game, and I'd be like, what are you talking about? That's Kuroki Forest. It's actually pronounced Kokiri, but I pronounced it Kuroki. Well, I need to think about it, but it happens so frequently that I mispronounce things in my head, and that's just how I know things. Maybe I'll have to write down other stuff that I've been horrible about. Anyways, the comment was regarding the first podcast. Just spent 10 minutes listening to a podcast about a guy talking about how unprepared he was for the recording of the podcast. I could not read that straight. Let's try it again. Just spent 10 minutes listening to a podcast about a guy talking about how unprepared he was for the recording of the podcast. Nailed it. It wasn't a great performance, but I got it. Yeah. Thanks. At least you listened to 10 minutes of it. Wait. The podcast, the first one was 12 minutes. So did you not listen to the entire thing? I hope this one wasn't as much meandering about the podcast. I think so far my notes are that I just need more notes to talk about or stuff to talk about. Maybe sticking to subjects. That is welcome because I'm closing out the podcast now. So, hope you enjoyed episode 2. Hope you have a great week. There will be another podcast where it's going to be more animation focused, where I said again. I'm going to work on that, people. And we're going to do it together. You don't say as many us, likes, so's. What was the other? Just. Yeah, don't say any of those. Just cut them out. Replace them with pauses, and let's work on it together. Let's become a team as we try to say less filler words. Don't do anything else this week. Stop your life and just focus. Why do you listen to me? I hope this is making you laugh. I'll release another podcast to go along with the cartoon that I'm planning on putting out this week. It's a short cartoon, but I think it's a funny one. And I'm working on some other stuff, so there should be a short cartoon coming out again shortly after that. And the podcast that's going to be released after the animations will be more about the cartoons and creative process, I guess. Whatever you guys want to know. And yeah. I'll also talk, I guess, a little bit about Candy Corn, because I didn't release a podcast about that video. Like behind the scenes stuff and about the actual story and then the direction that I plan on taking the videos in the future, which are not going to entirely be about just me telling stories about my life. I run out of stories real quick if I do that. It will be a bit more abstract later on, and I'll be able to make up stories and insert myself into situations. It will be fun. It'll be fun. You'll have a lot of fun watching them. I think you'll like them. Yeah. All right. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you around town.